What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all having a great day. FHDI in the building. You know, this is Code Not Content. Hope y'all having a magnificent Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Tuesday. Beautiful, beautiful coffee. So, why am I here today? Glad you asked. Had a wonderful discussion with my fantasy football group. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all finna get a stern whooping this year. So just stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. But no, we had a conversation about the big three, right? Everybody's big three: Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Now, whatever. It is what it is. Not debating that. It is. It is. Fact is a fact. But it also sent me down a rabbit hole. I'm like, what influenced the big three? I'm like, what were the actual big, like, where does it all come from? You know what I'm saying? I was like, where did it start for me? For me as a anime enthusiast and a young anime enthusiast when I was a kid, like, where did my inspiration come from? Where did my love for anime start? What influenced me to open up many different genres of anime? Because now, obviously, nowadays, you've seen anime from anything, from I Married a Vending Machine to Sword Art Online, which is, just a whole lot of different anime that set the bar so high and that just opened up so many different avenues of consumption when it comes to anime. So, thanks to them, I compiled a list of the most influential anime in my life personally. If you don't like my list, fine, don't care, make your own, do your thing, have fun, make your own list. I went down such a rabbit hole to come up with this list, and it brought a tear to my eye. I went to YouTube. I found like old promos from Toonami. I found old clips. I seen all these old anime all over again, and it just brought such a tear to my eyes. So, without further ado, we're gonna start this with number. We're not gonna do the whole 20. I'm gonna do you the bottom 10, and then we're gonna do the top 10 later. Is that fair? Fair. Awesome. So, without further ado, we're gonna start with number 20. So right now we have number 20, and it is Prince of Tennis. If you can't see it up there, Prince of Tennis. It is one of the most influential anime I've ever seen of all time. It got me into sports anime. At this point in my life, I had no idea sports anime was a thing in any way, shape, or form. The only sports that I watched were NFL, NBA. That's it. That's all I did. That's all I got to. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in my life, I had no clue that something like this even existed. And I didn't, tennis of all that, like of all things to watch. So I'm sitting there like, okay, well, let's check it out and see what's going on. And when I tell you, this anime brought me into a world that I did not want to leave from. I loved Prince of Tennis. I probably wasn't one of the only few people that actually did like Prince of Tennis. Prince of Tennis got to like episode 50 in English, and then it just stopped. It just stopped all of a sudden. So it definitely changed how I saw anime. And I didn't know sports anime were a thing. If it wasn't for Prince of Tennis, I never would have watched Haikyuu, and I never would have watched Blue Lock. So hats off to you. Hats off to you, Prince of Tennis. One of my absolute favorite. You have a special place in my heart, just like this next one that's about to come. Next up on the list, this one right here touches my soul, and it is Case Closed. When I tell you, this anime to me was like, it was almost at my number one at the time when I watched it. I was introduced to detective type anime, and I love detective stuff. Like, I love figuring stuff out. I love to use my brain. I love suspense. Suspense is something I like thrive off of. So when I come across an anime that has that, I'm like, hey, yo, you got me. You had me at detective. And when I tell you, this show was something me, my sister, and my mom watched together. Like, my mom still texts me to this day about old episodes of Case Closed. Like, it's something that's really near and dear to my heart. Like, I still, like, they remade it now. I heard they did, they are recasting a few actors, voice actors from the one. I saw some of the new stuff. It's not terrible, but I'm so used to the old voice actors and stuff like that. But Case Closed opened up a whole new world of detective stuff. I'm like, I didn't know you could do that in that. Like, honestly, I mean, I was a kid, obviously, but seeing different ways of doing anime, I'm like, you know what? Interesting. I was very interested, and I learned a lot from watching Case Closed. Just random facts that I had no idea. I learned so much about like history. I learned stuff like about math, And I also, learned different ways to kill people. Not saying I'm like that. It's very interesting to see, So that right there makes it number 19. Number 19 on the list. It's always going to be someplace close to my heart. It's never going to leave. It's one of those, series that are just sacred, that I don't want them to touch, even though they, doing whatever. I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's number 19. But this next one right here, goes a step into a direction that I absolutely love. Now this one almost did not make the list because I had forgotten about it until I watched this promo, a Toonami promo today, and I was like, yo, this anime, I watched this bitch every single day when it came on TV. I'm like, yo, I love this fucking anime. Like it really made me want to collect shit. And if you don't know the anime I'm talking about, it is Zoids. If you didn't see Zoids growing up, it's fine, it's cool. We all had different strokes, different folks, whatever. Zoids was nice. Like the different kind of fucking machines that they had in that bit. I'm like, yo, I'm messing with it, And I love the world that they built around it. Like a tournament, you had teams of different animal type shit, like the Liger Zero, the different arm, yo, you can actually buy them on Amazon. I'm actually gonna buy the Liger Zero and all the add-ons. That right there made me want to actually purchase the figurines and stuff like that to actually make them. I love the Zoids. Zoids opened up a lot of different mech ideas for me, so that to me, it influenced some other anime on this list as well. And it's not as higher up as the anime y'all are probably thinking. Spoiler alert, y'all already know what it is, but we're gonna get there. Just let's take it one step at a time. But Zoids is one of those ones for me, and I don't care what no one says. Zoids influenced the hell out of my life, and I absolutely loved it. But this next one right here as well, this one, like I said, a step above, and it took it to a whole different level, and I loved it. So let's keep going. And number 16, rightfully so. This one right here, I was wrestling with where to put this one. I think this was right at the sweet spot at 16. This one changed the entire 5-hero dynamic that I've seen. Obviously, girls had Sailor Moon and all the pretty and glitzy glamour. I mean, Sailor Moon was a little dark too. That was cool, but they had a guy version called the Ronin motherfucking Warriors. And if you didn't like the Ronin Warriors, if you didn't see the Ronin Warriors, I'm sorry you missed out, but that right there changed everything for me. I'm like, yo, this format on how I'm watching, this is beautiful, because the thing about the Ronin Warriors, and a lot of people don't remember this, you should go back and watch it. The very first episode, the very first couple of episodes actually, was dark. The city was just eviscerated. The bad guy already won at this point. It was just a dark start to such a very different kind of anime. I'm like, I had never seen an anime like this that started so dark, frame one out the gate. And I was like, yo, then it made me fall in love with the heroes and the transformations. It was just, I think Ronin Warriors was so ahead of its time. And I'm so glad they're getting a remake now. Now they're remaking Ronin Warriors, which is going to be fucking awesome. So I'm super excited about that. But that right there, rightfully so, where it needed to be. Like I said, 16 was probably the perfect place for it. I was wrestling on where to put it as far as how it influenced my taste in anime. So that right there was where it needed to be. But now we're getting up there now. So now we're getting to number 15. And 15 was a tough one, but let me put it like this. 15 was one of those ones where I'm like, I probably need to buy it on DVD, on Blu-ray, very specific, because this one right here, this changed the game for me, wholeheartedly. All right, number 15. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty. This one right here, this one is so special to me. This is very, very special because I remember trying to, when it finally stopped airing, I remember when I learned how to download stuff illegally, like download movies and shit like that. I don't do it anymore, but I remember I used to kind of pirate, and I searched everywhere for this bitch I searched everywhere. When I tell you I wanted this anime so bad because of the potential I saw in it for one, and the direction I saw that it was gonna go. This anime, number 15, is Outlaw Star. Outlaw Star. If you haven't seen Outlaw Star, that's fine. That's cool. It's love. Please go watch it. It still holds up to this day. It still holds up. Now, is it a little bit of fan service in there? There's a few, I'm not a big fan of fan service. I don't like it. I did when I was a kid, but as an adult, it's very annoying. This is why I haven't, finished certain anime that won't be speaking about. But Outlaw Star was one of those ones that opened up the space world to me. I'm like, yo, they built a universe around they call it the three powers of the universe. The police force, pirates, and the outlaws. Like, that's what the show was about. The Outlaw Star. How this ship can do shit that no other ship can do. The characters, they made me invest in the world, the different planets. Like, they had so much they could do with it. I just hate that it didn't get a second season. If it had got a second season, it may have been a little bit higher, but that, for what it was, Outlaw Star took things to the next level. It made me want to be a space pirate. Like, obviously I was a kid, but a space pirate sound cool as fuck. Like, it gave me such a vibe of adventure, and I love that in an anime. Like, that to me, that solidifies a lot to me when it comes to my top, anime of influence, like of all time. Like, that right there, Outlaw Star is definitely one of those ones that will always make my list. That influenced my taste in anime, because I love space. And then Outlaw Star was one of the first ones that had, and I can't remember if any other anime did this prior to the list that I had. I don't remember them, but every episode had an opening monologue. And the opening monologue was always something like deep, or it was something pertaining to either something inside the episode or something that's a next level above the episode. Like, it's all like the very second episode. I think this is the second episode where they give one of the best speeches of all time for me, just speaking for me, one of the best opening monologues in anime of all time that I've ever heard of when you first watch an anime, like episode 2, I believe it was. And I loved it. I absolutely love Outlaw Star. And it's one of those ones that I will remember forever. And I hope that my kids in the future get a chance to see it, because I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray. Make sure they watch it, because Outlaw Star is one of them ones. Just like the next one on this list is one of them ones. I got a long list, and this one right here, this one's tough. All right, this one is tough because it took what I learned from Outlaw Star, right? It took the world of Outlaw Star, and it took it so much further than I ever thought it could go, and did so well with the character building. And this is one of those ones that kind of set the tone for a lot of anime that I watch nowadays. This one right here is called Tenchi Muyo. And the reason why I put Tenchi Muyo up here is because I watched Tenchi Muyo went from Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi in Tokyo, because he moved to Tokyo, which is another series, and then it went from that to Tenchi Universe. I think it may be one in between and I'm missing, but Tenchi Universe, which means they started to explore the universe using ships and shit. And these are living ships. Like, these ships turn into like small animals, and these animals are like just walk around like fucking cats. Like, so fucking cool. Like, they had women in this thing. I'm like, yo, he had a bunch of women in his house. He had a lot of people, like, they had police officers that was over the Universal police officer. I'm like, this is like the world that it built around it. And then it's a beautiful story behind it too. It's a very beautiful story behind Tenchi Muyo. If you haven't seen Tenchi Muyo, please watch it. It showed me a little bit more of exploration, not just outside of the universe. It showed me more on the earth as well. So it showed me different relationships could work in different scenarios in an anime. Like, it didn't feel like it was cluttered. It didn't feel like it was, I didn't feel claustrophobic while watching it. I felt like everything, his dialogue with each person in the house, granted it was all women, but the granddad was there too. The granddad gave wisdom in the eye of whatever thing he was dealing with, Tenchi was dealing with. In whatever situation Tenchi was dealing with, the grandpa always gave some kind of good advice. He's like, look, this is all you need to do, da-da-da-da-da. And then he gets into this goofy thing with these girls. And I thought it was really funny. It was funny, it was cute, it was different. It was something different from the norm that I've always watched. And I was like, I like like this. I like this feeling that I'm getting. It's not a slice of life, but it is very slice of life-esque, if that makes any sense. If you haven't seen Tenchi Muyo, please give it a watch. Definitely give it a watch. It deserves a place on this list. I couldn't get rid of it. I tried. I was like, man, maybe Tenchi Muyo, but I kept thinking back to what it did for my, navigation through anime, and I was like, I have to put it up here. It has to be one of those ones that are up there. So, I love Tenchi Muyo, and it has to be up here. Just like the next one on this list, which is going to just keep the whole trend of opening up my mind going with this absolutely beautiful inspiration of an anime that's coming up right now. Let me tell you something here. This anime right here. This anime right here they tried to remake it. Didn't go well. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the voice acting. All it needed was just a little bit of new animation. It could have kept the same voice actors. It was fine. But this anime right here was so underrated at the time. So underrated, which was one of my favorite villains at the time too. Because I went back and rewatched this, 4 months ago? Beautiful anime. Beautiful story, by the way. Like, just very well done. If you haven't seen this anime, it is called Trigun. Trigun to me set a bar in just a Western kind of anime with space involved. Like, it wasn't just about, like, it took being in space as like a normal thing. If you've seen the first episode, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not spoiling anything for you, but it took something so simple like being in space and just brought it down to just our level even more so, and something so complicated that we had to kind of like piece it together. It didn't just give you the story. It didn't just say, hey, this is what happened. No, you kind of had to figure it out step by step by step. And just the action in it and the character development is amazing. The main character is one of the best main characters ever, in my personal opinion. He's got to be in the top 10 of best main characters, and just personally. And I love what this anime did for the genre of like Western gunslinging kind of shit. Like, I love that shit. Like, I love those old school kind of vibes. It gave me such a nostalgic feeling. It didn't rush anything. It showed scale very well. It showed you how much of a menace, Vash the Stampede is. If you know, you know. It showed you how much influence he had and how much people were afraid, how many people were actually afraid of him. Like, he was like the fucking boogeyman, he was fucking Baba Yaga, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love that. I loved what Trigun did. And as the episodes got on and on, it unfolded the story nicely, very, very nicely. And I was like, you know what? I'm fine with this. This was a great story, a great enjoyable moment. It changed how I saw gunslinging. It changed how I saw like the old school Western feel. Like, it changed all of that. So I love that. And it put itself into the top for a very, very good reason. And it was kind of hard to figure out where I was going to go with it, but I think it's right where it needs to be. And the next one up after this one kind of kept that same flow of making me feel very, very nostalgic, as well as opening my mind to a different genre of anime, which I love. This anime right here, this one's a very subtle one, right? And this one was very underrated. And if you don't know it, then you don't know, but it is what it is. This anime was like, it's like if Bruce Wayne had like a Gundam, And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. The anime that I'm speaking of is Big O. Big O changed how I view the noir, old school detective fit. Like, it was such a different take on a concept that just involved around like amnesia for the most part. Like, it was, if you really pay attention to the story of Big O, if like I said, if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. If you have not paid attention to the story of Big O, it's such a mind fuck of an anime. If you really pay attention to it, like, and then the music was a character in itself. Like, the music to me in this anime set the tone for everything. Like something as simple as just a conversation, a dialogue between two characters turned into just this deep philosophical thing about about a city that don't remember what happened. Like, story's beautiful. And then some of the fights, some of the mech fights in there, it was very fluid. It was very, I could follow it. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that was so ridiculous. I'm like, okay, what is this? Like, no, it kept it very in the pocket. It has its own box, and it showed me like, hey, you can make your own story into this own little box and it makes sense. It doesn't have to be super flashy. It doesn't have to have power-ups. It doesn't have to have power struggles, beam struggles. It just need to be there. It need to be real. You have to feel it. That's the best way I can say about Big O. You have to feel it. Like when you watch it from frame one, you feel like when he does that monologue about a city that doesn't remember how it even became the city the way that it is, it's just, it makes you ask so many questions. And I love that in an anime that makes me think and makes me want to dive a little bit deeper into the world of that anime. I'm like, hey, I need to figure out, and as well as psychology within yourself. So it opened up a box that I didn't even know could be open. Like obviously there's other anime later on in this list that you'll hear about that it reminded me of. And most of the anime that I have watched that's on this list kind of came out around the same time. Like the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, like all of that came out this golden era of anime. I don't care what nobody said, the golden era of anime. So the next one on the list is of the golden era of anime. And if you want to put as far as like influence, like this right here, this literally, and I mean this literally, set the bar for for a lot of anime, not just the ones involving machines. This one set the bar so high, and the influence is everywhere, and you can see it. You'll know what I mean in a second. So we finally got here. We almost there. We're almost there. This right here, these last two for this bottom 10 is getting to the nitty gritty. But this one right here, you already know where I'm going with it because I kind of teased it a little bit. You already know. This anime right here touches my soul. And this one very specific, but I'm gonna get it out the way. Gundam, you already know what it is. I'm not even finna, you can pick whichever Gundam you want. There's some bad ones, but pick whichever Gundam you want, whichever one. The one that for me that I like, it's corny, but I like it. I'm a G Gundam fan, Mobile Fighter G Gundam. I love Gundam Wing too. Gundam Wing is fire, but just G Gundam was it just hit me. Like I loved how it made me feel. You know, I loved it. I absolutely love G Gundam. I love Gundam, period. Even they're still making Gundam to this day. Every anime that involves with mechs, that have mechs involved, pulled something from Gundam. Gundam hit everybody by surprise. And when I tell you, it just injected itself into into everything. Like I absolutely love. I actually want to start collecting Gundams. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I want to start collecting Gundams on top of Zoids. I do want to collect Zoids too, but Gundam set the tone for Zoids. So that's why it's higher up on the list. Gundam made me want to get toys. Like maybe not toys, but you know, the figurines and stuff like that. Zoids made me want to collect them as well. But the ones that influenced me the most, like this one was one of those ones that took everybody. Gundam Wing is arguably the best Gundam, but my favorite is G Gundam. G Gundam to me was my favorite because it had a lot of emotion into it, had a lot of love, sacrifice, blood. Like it was a lot to it. It was a little cheesy at points. It was a bit cheesy, but I absolutely love G Gundam from the bottom of my heart. It influenced every bit of my mech experience with different anime, and it changed a lot. It changed a lot for me after I got done watching it, and it's just beautiful anime. So we almost there, but this one right here, like number 10, number 11. I think you want number 11. I believe so. This one right here set something up for me. This one right here is above all the ones down there, like all the ones beneath it. It just, what it showed me about the culture, it can't be replicated. Even though they tried to, it can't be replicated what it did for me as a young nerd. By myself watching this stuff well, not by myself. I watch most of it with my brother. I thank my brother for most of this, honestly. Watching this opened up a world of the culture. And you will see exactly what I mean. This was the one. This was one of them ones. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Where we're at, number 11. This one right here, this is one of the ones. This one changed how I saw the samurai. This one changed how I saw everything about Japanese culture. It changed how I saw a good bit of everything when it comes to anime. Like character development, animation, just the raw, uncut emotion that this anime gave me. Like, and then the music, like music in itself, when it comes to anime, music is a character in itself. This one right here is set so much up to be an amazing anime, and it went for a very long time, which I'm glad. And it changed a lot of my life when it came to different anime. But the anime that I'm speaking of is called Rurouni Kenshin. If you've never seen Rurouni Kenshin, they tried to remake it recently. Not saying it was bad, it just didn't hit the same as the original did, the OG. It captured certain moments and certain emotion in a way that the new one just can't quite do. You know, and I get it, things change, people change, I understand it. But Rurouni Kenshin set the bar so high when it came to samurai that for me, it was like, oh, if you're not him, if you're not something like him, then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Like, that's a real samurai to me, personally. Like, they explained everything, like they explained so much about what it is to be a samurai and living in an era of peace while still being a samurai. Like, it opened up the political version of what it was like living in those times. Now, I'm not saying all of it is based upon like actuality, but it just showed so much as to how much the world can actually change in that particular area so much, so drastically, where it's illegal to walk around with a sword. Like, you should be able to like do it at a time, and you can't walk around with a sword no more because we're in the era of peace. Like, things can change on a dime over there, and that is something that I absolutely loved about Rurouni Kenshin, where it opened up for me, what it did for me. So Rurouni Kenshin is number 11. It's always going to be up there. It's going to be hard to replace it. So it just is what it is. I was looking through a long list of anime, and I was like, Rurouni Kenshin is up there. Like, it hit me. It definitely hit me. And I was like, you know what? I have to put it on the list. I literally have to. And the ones that I got above it, you'll see why. And you're like, oh, okay. I think it's placed very perfectly where I need it to be. Number 11 is perfect for me. It's 1000% perfect. So without further ado, guys, I'm glad you guys stayed for the first part of the list. The next video will be dropping soon. I want to say in the next day or so pay attention to that. This right here was so much fun for me to do. I absolutely love diving deep into, you know, my anime bag and just seeing all the things that I've actually watched. I may have a video for honorable mentions. I don't know, like ones that didn't quite make the cut as far as like influence. So I may have a list like that, but we don't know. But this top 10 though, this top 10, I don't want to put these in necessarily an order per se. It's just order of influence. None of these are good or bad, like are bad. These are just how they influenced me for the most part. And I hope you guys like that. If you don't like my list, like I said, make your own. This is just me personal. This is just my life growing up. This is very, very close to my heart, and I love it. And I love all these anime, and they've changed everything. So appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next 10, because I'm telling you, they locked and loaded. You feel me? Like it's some bangers up there. And if you didn't see the ones if you didn't see the one that you thought you was going to see in the bottom, you know why? They up there in the top. So we'll see. And I appreciate y'all for watching. And don't pet the sweaty stuff, and don't sweat the petty stuff.